This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake it, body.
Wake your punk ass up. That crust out your eyes.
This is my store. I'll run it my way. Now get out.
There it is, man. That's a clip from the one and only Harry Gordon Selfridge. Mr. Selfridge. It airs Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Season 3 finale is this Sunday on PBS. And we have Mr. Well,
actually, it's the reverse. We're actually premiering Sunday.
Oh, premiere?
Yes,
nice.
sir.
What did I say?
Yeah.
Did I say finale?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant premiere.
Yeah. You skipped right to the end, man. you fast forwarded yourself. That was crazy. It was like a time machine.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Exactly.
Just like that.
Yeah.
You know, this. I remember when this series first came to life.
Yes.
And you've been on the show every season.
Yeah.
And, you know, to be honest, after the first time you came, we was like, yo, y'all think that's going to last after Entourage, all that success? And we placed bets. So it went to the second season. And so I lost a lot of money.
There you go.
Damn, at least you honest, right?
Thank you for backing me. I appreciate
You got it, boo.
And now it's at the third season, and I'm a firm believer in Jeremy Piven, who's here with us today, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of like almost like was it like a pet project for you? Or
You know, after Entourage, the last thing you want to do is repeat yourself.
Yeah.
So when this came about and I thought, wow, go and work with the best actors in the world over in England and do a true story. And this guy's story was so unbelievable. There's, nothing is stranger than the truth. So I just thought, you got to go do this. It's intimidating because you're stretching it out and you're doing something different. You're away for 7 months a year. So I had to do it.
Wow.
And here we are I'm about to start shooting season 4.
Damn.
Which is crazy. And it's interesting because it's almost like an experiment. How can you break a show in the United States without advertising?
Yeah.
Because the variable is PBS is funded by the people. So, they don't, they're a little strapped. So they can't take out ads. And so in these times when, people are listening to the radio and their focus is on social media, that's why we're all here. And so how long will it take? Because the reality is I'll drive by a billboard and I'll see all the other shows.
Yeah.
And I'll know that how, can we make it without any of that? And I think finally it's interesting. It's like, here we are going into season 3 and it's finally starting to turn the corner because people are all looking for that next show.
Yeah.
'Cause things are ending and, Mad Men's done, whatever, what's next? And the thing is, I can tell by people's face, they're either people that have seen it or they haven't. And I've called some people out. I called Jimmy Fallon out live on TV the other night. I could just tell he hadn't seen it, and he just lost it. And when he loses it, he doesn't come back.
He doesn't come back.
No, there is no coming back.
So does that mean that, I'm sorry, Sway, does that mean that you took a pay cut? Like a huge one?
Yes, indeed, a huge one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you do it because you love silence.
I know, right? Yo, Jeremy's broke.
He's going crazy. No, but I mean, listen, it's like doing a play for 4 years, and that's kind of what it's been like. And to give you an example, when I went back to shoot the Entourage movie after doing a few seasons of Mr. Selfridge, one of the producers pulled me aside, and they just felt like, whatever I'm doing it better. I'm working on a higher level. And it's like anything else in this life. When you challenge yourself and work with people that are better than you, they're going to raise your game. Yeah. And that's kind of what has been happening to me doing the show. So it's all worth it.
When you stumped Jimmy,
yeah.
Let's go back to that.
Yeah.
Yo, how did he play it off? That might be a new
He
segment.
didn't play Stumping Jimmy?
Yeah, Stumping Jimmy. I like that.
It should be because everyone watches SNL to watch him break.
Yeah.
Because he was the first one to break.
Yeah.
I just basically stumped him by looking in his eyes and realizing he wasn't telling the truth. No, it was just because listen, if you've seen the show, you don't ask me questions like, what's it like doing a British accent? Well, I'm playing an American.
Yeah.
So you just outed yourself. Whatever.
Yeah, we did that the first time you came.
But it happens, man. And listen, we're all busy people, and it's hard to to binge watch stuff, and you have to get hooked. I'm the same way. There's some shows I've never seen an episode of that you would not believe that I've never seen. I've never seen an episode of Friends. And I had not seen an episode. I know it's crazy. I'm un-American.
Not really.
I mean, literally, not an episode, not a scene.
Not one
Wow.
scene.
Not one scene.
Okay.
I had never seen Seinfeld, and I did Seinfeld, which is crazy.
You sure did do
Blasphemous.
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
You did that pilot episode.
Yeah, I played George.
Shit.
I played George in the
Wow.
pilot. And, this is a million years ago, and it was like my first job out of college, and I was doing the Larry Sanders Show, and they were on the same lot as Seinfeld, and casting director came over, he said, do you want to audition for our show? And as an actor, I'm like, I'll audition for anything. Is it a Taco Bell commercial? I'm there. So I went and auditioned, and I'd met, because we were on the same lot together, and I was Jason Alexander. I'd met Jason, and so I was like, wow, Jason has a really heavy New York accent. He's awesome. And I'm going to go in there and do my Jason Alexander because I've never seen the show. And I just had a blast, and it was so fun. And they said, you must be such a big fan of the show, of Seinfeld. I said, yes, I am. and the reality is it's, one of the most iconic shows of all time, and it shaped everyone's sense of humor. And of course, since then I've gone and seen it, and it's genius and all that stuff. But it just, at the time, I literally didn't have a TV.
Wow.
I was a series regular living in the pool house of this other dude's house. And the head writer on my show came back with me one time to see where I lived, and he goes, why do you live in the pool house, man? You're a regular on a TV show, series regular. And being from Chicago and having that work ethic, and I just didn't think that way. I didn't think about going to the big house.
Yeah, right. You wanted that struggle. What was the first check you made that helped you kind of move into a higher tax bracket environment?
First track, I feel like Biggie Smalls. Well, it was, the first, it wasn't, I mean, listen, the first show was the Larry Sanders Show, so that was the first time that I got paid.
Okay.
And I, on a regular basis. But back then that kicked off the original programming on HBO. There was before Sex and the City or Sopranos. So, it wasn't that. I'm trying to think of the first time I actually got paid. Well, it was interesting because back in the day, I used to be the voice of Bud Light. Crisp, clean taste, fills you up, never lets you down. I was that guy. Wow. Yeah. So
He's killing us today.
That's useless information.
Yeah, it is useless information. You're gonna be thinking about that when you go to sleep, and you're gonna be like, "Damn it, Piven, get out of my head." No. For real. So I got, when I was doing plays in Chicago, you get $11 a week, and you can't even pay your rent. So it's like I won the lottery, and like somehow I auditioned for the Bud Light commercial. I don't know why they picked me, but it was literally like winning the lottery. So it allowed me to do theater and not have to have a day job. So that was, to be honest with you, that was the first time I got paid.
Damn, man, Jeremy Piven is here, and look how his life has changed.
Yeah.
We just bumped into each other at the Soho House of all places.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
We'll talk about our weekend together. Jeremy and Sway. Up next, you want to talk with them? 888-742-3345.
Get him to read Matterhorn, okay?
I will take care of it. Relax.
All right.
Have fun tonight, will you?
There it is right there, man. That's Ari Gold right there.
Yep.
Jeremy Piven, who's with us right now. And you brought it up, man. Every time, I know you listen, man, everywhere you go, people ask about this Entourage movie.
Yeah.
I almost feel bad for you, man, because you have so many other things that you're involved with, and then it all comes back to, when is the movie coming?
Yeah, but you know what, though? It's all about patience right now, because as I was telling you earlier, it's like an experiment. How long is it going to take before Mr. Selfridge breaks?
Yeah.
And it's like, if you are patient, it will come around. And so it is, the reality is you can't be mad at what got you there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like you used to do MTV.
Yeah.
So
I'm still doing it too, Jeremy.
there you go. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
go.
You know what?
I tell you, haven't been watching like Fallon.
Yeah, exactly. I can't keep up on you, man.
Okay, hey, man.
Too much stuff going on.
Yeah.
You can't be mad at what got you there. And the reality is I did 8 years on Entourage, and I was in people's living rooms, and it was an incredible run. And yes, the movie, what's interesting is I love pressure, and there's a lot of pressure on this one because we got to get it right. And I think we did.
You think you got okay?
Well, it's funny. It moves. It makes sense. I saw a short rough cut of it with some people. One woman who had never seen the series ever, had no reference for it, British woman, and she was laughing from the jump. So the characters, they're the archetype, like once drama starts to talk, who this guy is. Yeah. Everyone's got a drama, everyone's got a turtle, and and everyone's got an Ari in their lives, and so it works for people that love the show and for people who've never seen it.
You know, I was on Saigon's Instagram yesterday.
Oh, really?
And I guess E.T. put a clip of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
a little trailer.
A
That's
little
awesome.
trailer, and he was in the clip. And
Yeah.
Saigon was, and he was just thanking. It was like he was doing an acceptance speech or something.
Oh, my
he was
God.
thanking everybody for being in the movie. What can you share about the plot?
Well, it picks up in it's funny. Doug Ellen, the creator, has always been great at giving people what they want, but doing it in an organic way. It's 6 months later. Ari is given this great ultimatum. Is he going to? Because he basically said to his wife, "I'll forget about work and everything, and it's all about you." Because he needs to prove himself to her. And then at the same time, he takes her to Italy, and he gets this offer to basically run Hollywood and be God, as they say to him. So here he is 6 months later. He solidified his relationship with his wife, and he takes the job to run the studio. And his first order of business is to get his boy Vinny Chase a job. And he does. And Vince immediately asked to direct the movie as well. Guy's never directed. We don't know if
It's a problem.
I know
it's
it's
a problem, man.
But the thing is, that's the brilliant thing about it. It's like you set up a contract with the audience from the jump. It's like everything is going. The stakes are all going to be higher.
Yeah.
But they make sense because. Vince is always been one of these guys who just is so incredibly lucky no matter what he lands on his feet. We all know people like that.
Yeah.
So there are more cameos. I mean, you see it's everyone from Pharrell to Mike Tyson to Liam Neeson. It's just
Damn, Liam Neeson.
yeah,
Wow.
it's insanity.
It's just I did Empire there, Jeremy. I thought Doug might have
You
reached
working.
out to me, man.
All you need to do, and I'm not saying. First of all, we need to mention his name a few times, and we're doing it.
Doug Ellen.
And then you've got it. There you go. And you've got to call him out on your show. Reach out to him, and he's a guy that's not shy away from press.
Hey, Doug, man, it's Sway, man. I was did Chris
now,
Rock.
Now it's getting
Top
embarrassing.
five.
Top five.
Mhm.
Empire, man. I think I'll be a great addition. You're doing Rude Jude's show. Rude Jude, who's a personality here at Sirius XM Shade 45. He does our afternoon show.
All Out show.
The All Out show. They're developing a show around his book that he put out. Yeah. Hyena.
There you go. And also,
Doug is doing it.
there you have it. You bring him in the studio. You talk about that.
Yeah.
You guys solidify a relationship.
Okay.
You're in the sequel.
That's it.
It's that
There you
simple.
go.
Little brown nose in there. Okay.
Yeah.
You get-
But you got to get your girls in.
Yeah.
I really like
We'll work on
Jeremy.
that. Jeremy's a really cool guy. We bumped into each other. We was eating at the same establishment
That's
this
right.
past
Where
weekend.
was
A
this?
little a brunch at the Soho House.
At the Soho House. And I was like,
That's the way we do it. Don't give us that look.
I'm hating. Listen, okay, so it was a fancy brunch. Guy, you took me there. Sway did invite me to that.
There you go.
It was
See,
nice.
There
see,
you
I
go.
got my membership, so I've been
Hey.
taking all my friends to
There
just
you
have
go.
that experience because
Yeah.
the brunch is the fucking bomb.
You
Yeah.
man.
didn't take me there. I
It's-
had
we didn't
onion
go
rings.
to
By the way, it's like Willy Wonka. You just keep eating.
You just keep-
It
Oh,
doesn't.
What the freak? You know
It
that's
doesn't
like my
stop.
utopia.
And then I met a bunch of fine ass models. Jeremy had the banging table. You had the hot table.
I was going to say that, Jeremy. When you walked in,
Yeah.
you gave us a hug, and I was
Yeah.
like, wow, he's such a coochie magnet. But what you didn't know is that I saw you downstairs a little while ago when I was getting my soup, and you had this look about you. I was like, damn, that dude's a star. But I didn't know it was you. You had this hat, your hat on, the glasses. I was like, he's such a star. And then I realized, oh shit, that's Jeremy. I won't get in the same elevator and make him feel funny. And it had me thinking on the ride up. When you was living in that little pool house,
Yeah.
what was your coochie rate then compared to after that big Budweiser check?
Papa's been smooth since the days of Under Rouge. You know that. I mean, come on. Listen.
Quote that Biggie line, baby. I love
I mean, look, I first of all, the fact that you say I look like a star, I feel tired and beat up, and it's you never think about how you appear, and once an underdog, always an underdog,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
the way
yeah.
I feel, and that's the way I am, and that's the way I play. And when I think about back in the day, I mean, it's like the reality is, you either have game or you don't, and it's not like all of a sudden, because you get a little love that everything in your world changes. It's like here's something that I believe. We don't change, we just become more like ourselves.
Right.
And so, I think, the reality is, look, I'm still single. It's not like this was premeditated. I want to be in something. I'm, it's getting a little. Look at
Man, stay single. You're doing great. We got Angel on the line from Boston. Good morning, Angel.
This is wild.
Good morning.
Hey.
Hello, say hello to Jeremy.
Good morning, Jeremy. Good morning, Sway. Good morning, everybody.
Hey,
morning.
girl.
I just want to give Jeremy big props. I wasn't an Entourage fan. I just didn't have time for it, but Mr. Selfridge got me hooked. As a black girl from Boston, I straight be on that every Sunday night, so I just want to give you big props for that.
All right, there you go. That's what I'm saying. That's the moment.
That's the moment. Y'all got me hooked.
It just turned. Thank you so much, because I was just saying there. I can tell by the look in people's eyes. It's like they've either seen the show or they haven't, and you got to take the leap of faith. So I appreciate it. I'm about to go back to London and start season 4, so it's only going to get better. But they're going to have to age me, because the reality is, we got to tell Harry's whole story, and he lived until he was 90.
Oh,
So they're going to have to beat me up a bit.
Yeah.
Which will be fun. But thank you. If I'm ever in Boston, I'm going to hunt you down.
That's Angel from Boston.
Make sure you do. Panties drop in Boston, too, so you got
Panties
that, boo.
drop in Boston.
Oh, my God. That's like a T-shirt.
Yeah. Wait, hold up,
like
Angel.
a catchphrase.
You don't discriminate. You'll take the black
Right.
coochie too, right?
Listen, we are all the same people. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I know when I grew up, if you were to look at some pictures, I mean, I was the only white boy on my football team. I mean, the reality is I was the minority.
Let them know.
I mean, so when you say I have a colorblind existence, so I don't even know what you're saying to me right now.
Coochie has no color.
Well, pink.
That's
It's all
another.
pink.
That's another T-shirt.
Okay.
I mean, you're full of them today.
All right, we got DB here. Jeremy.
Jeremy's so happy.
Yo,
He's switch it up.
DB is a big fan. He came up with a game specifically for you.
Yep, that's right, and it's called How to Hustle, like Jeremy Piven.
All right, 28 minutes into the hour. What you got, DB?
All right, real quick. What was the dumbest thing you ever bought with a big paycheck?
The first thing I bought actually was a 1965 Mustang. But it was back in the days when like ATMs were first invented.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought you could go to an ATM and pull out the amount of money you need.
Wow.
Get out of here, girl.
Because they had just come on, easy. They just come out. And I'm also a caveman. So
wow.
it's a problem.
Okay.
All right. Now, on the flip side, what is the greatest investment you ever made?
Real estate for sure. I'm not a guy that will get a Bugatti or something like that. It just I put money down. I bought my first house when I didn't have enough money for it, and it's just like that's what you do, and you invest in that, and then the rest of your life will come up to meet it.
You said his first house. All right, go ahead.
All right. If you could leave one piece of work that you've done for future generations to see, which one would you choose?
Well, it's interesting because I would say Mr. Selfridge because I think it's the best work I've ever done, and it keeps getting better. And I can say that confidently. I know that that Entourage is the type of thing where you could literally try to hide it in a bomb shelter, and it would make its way out somehow. I mean, it's just like I haven't had a lot of luck in my career, but that thing is surrounded by luck, and I don't know what the variable is. I think it's probably Mark Wahlberg, to be honest with you, because I think he's one of the luckiest dudes on the. And not that he doesn't earn it; he works his butt off. Yeah. But he has a horseshoe stuck up his ass.
That's funny.
All right, there you go, man. Jeremy Piven, man. A horseshoe. You got a horseshoe in your ass. That's
You lucky bastard.
Yeah, right. Jeremy, man. Jeremy is always good, man.
Yes.
Man.
I appreciate
good to see
it.
you, man. Absolutely, man. And just for the record, man, coolest dude ever. He came up and passed us. I had Kelly and my girl was with me, and she was like, "Don't you know Jeremy Piven?" I was like, "Yeah, I do, but I'm not gonna approach him because he might not remember me or some shit." Or they serve a lot of mimosas at Soho
brunch,
House.
Yeah,
And,
but the more you drink, the more you become like yourself. So
and Jeremy came and said hi to everybody, and was like, I think I'm on your show next week. And, and here we are, man.
But I said you were hosting the Jordan event, so I saw you there
That's
too.
right, you did say that. It was at the Jordan 30.
Yes.
I was so drunk. I don't know what I was. Yeah, I was like myself.
That's it.
That
But
shit
Jeremy
was
Piven,
popping.
solid guy, man. If
Yes.
you see him, know that he is. And don't forget Mr. Selfridge, season 3 premiere this Sunday, 9 p.m. on PBS. Make sure you check it out. All right.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, man. It was
Love
fun.
Jeremy,
As always.
man.
Absolutely.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shea 45.